Thank you, you and kind and clever people who are here to attend our panel. Things are quite straightforward. We're doing all about the AEO, is it called now, the evolution of SEO, and discoverability for your business, for your websites, online, through social media, and the new Google AI era. So with me, I have the right people for this conversation. Starting next to me is Magda Klimko-Aydin, Chief Marketing Officer at ACE Alliance. We have Vasil Gamov, CEO at PeakyAds, and Francisco Leon de Vivero, VP of Growth at Growing Search. And Arnav Duda is again here with you after the previous panel from Catalyst. And please introduce yourselves in your own words to our audience.
Oh, that was not scripted.
No, that was not scripted.
Hi everyone, you may or may not recognize me. I'm Magda. I work at ACE Alliance, which is kind of a baby company from Red Panda. So what I do most of the time is I annoy people with my own face. I do plenty of interviews, I do content around this, and anything marketing that you can possibly imagine, from email, social media, to creating content like printed and so on. So I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you, Vasil.
Thank you for sharing. I guess I have quite the same business as you are. I have a marketing agency. We work with SEO, AEO, whatever you call it nowadays. We work with content marketing also, with video marketing. We have a media, it's now recording. Say hello to YouTube. Thanks to the audience for coming up here. It's a pleasure to see all of you. I think I can give you a word to introduce you one more time.
Thank you. Well, surprise, surprise, I also have a marketing agency. So I think there's a pattern here, right? So we do growth marketing at iCatalyst, and we are all about outcome-based marketing, which includes content, to search, to visibility, the actual visibility that you can get, and their content, as well as how the algorithm has changed plays a big part. So would be interesting to share some insights.
And last but not least.
Yeah, the last one is me, Francisco Leon. I have also, it's not a marketing agency, it's a boutique SEO agency. We specialize in gambling and other industries, but mainly our clients are big clients. We have clients, for example, with 50 million visits organic a day. And we focus on that type of clients in North America. Our agency is in Canada, and we have also clients from Europe and South America.
Okay, thank you. So this first part of our conversation, I think we're going beyond SEO. Everyone knows what search optimization is. Everyone, I think, does it. But now we have all noticed this little new box, this AI quote that you get almost every time you do a new search, and you get a ready-made response, response to your answers, some links, some results. And I'm guessing that the big question that everyone has is, how do we get there? What does that do? How is that going to affect our search engine optimization strategies, and what should we look out for? And what is this new, as Google calls it, Search Generative Experience, SGE, and how does it work? So this is our first question. What is this new feature of Google, and how does it work? Please say it.
I can work it, yeah? That's right, you? Sure. Okay. So the answer is in the question, I guess, Search Generative Experience. That means Google have right now those answers generated on your questions, and it happened not with AI even. It happens, as far as I remember, even 4 years ago, Google started switching from keywords to questions. So that's what we see, and that's what is used by now in Google overviews. So this is the main thing. And one more important thing, it's generated not only on the top 10 results of a search query, it generates on the results of websites with trust, with credibility, with authority, and those websites cannot even be on the top 10 list. It's very, very connected to social experience, also like Reddit or Trustpilot. Reddit is selling database to Google like for $60 million on a yearly basis. So everything is about social, about authority right now, and this is the main point about this switch.
So the main point is that this is not just an AI-generated response, but it actually has a database from which it draws from.
I would not say that it is drawing from database. It is actually providing you, just like the name suggests, it is providing you the answers based on the research it has gotten. The content it extracts doesn't necessarily have to be from the top 10 links, like Vasily mentioned. It just focuses on delivering the most accurate information in its own ability, of course. So that is what the search generative experience is all about, that providing you the right answer at the right time.
And also now it's taking results that they are in the search, like very accurate results. With Perplexity or ChatGPT search, you can find results that they are very up to date.
So this is the reverse, let's say the reverse process, that you enter AI directly and you assign them the search and they give you all the results. Okay, I think this is pretty clear. And very recently it was announced by OpenAI that they're launching their very own browser, and they started giving prompts to the users also to download and join. Do you have, I mean, it's very early, but do you have any insights on how this works?
I've been using that one and also the Perplexity. That is similar.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of a new experience. It's a combination between having ChatGPT open and also having the regular search, but you can ask something that is kind of dangerous for the future. For what I see, you can ask to click and get some results, and from there simulate that or buy something for you directly, where they can go to your cart and select products and put it to buy.
So the big, huge red hot point is that they can directly find your business from this search. There is still the link to your website or to your e-shop, or...
They can go to your e-shop and they can select products also over there. But something that I was reading about and I was checking some YouTube talking, some hidden code that you can put over there, and they can ask to implement some JavaScript, for example, that could be malicious to your website. I think I'm going to it, but yes, it's something that can be done and can be explored. It's not 100% safe.
But we're not there yet. It's not a standard process that
Can be done yet? No.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Something can be done now.
I don't know if anyone wants to add anything about. Okay. We discussed how Google's results don't match the top results. So, do you feel that with this new step, we're entering a post-click, post-search era where you don't really, you have a disconnect with the whole marketing process? We used to do the SEO process in order to get people to click and get them to the website and convert in some way or get awareness. But now, could it be that this is going to gradually stop, fade out? What do you see happening?
I think more than 75% of the businesses, their priority is to get ranked on all these AI engines these days, because the search pattern has changed and it is changing gradually and increasingly every day. Especially the decision makers, I would say. No decision maker, in my opinion, is using Google for the big things, right? They use Perplexity and all these other platforms to look for the data, to look for deeper research about any topic. And that is what the biggest shift in the users' usage of such platforms has been as of late. So also, I think more than 50% of the traffic has been affected by such changes to Google's algorithm. Like you mentioned, post-click era, this is what we have seen. More than 50% of the traffic, it is now gone. because of these.
So more than 50% of the traffic is already gone.
In terms of what you used to get directly, now you are getting it indirectly via these platforms. But yes, you will see that in your dashboard.
I cannot agree like 100% with you. I would call it not post-clicker, but post-unqualified clicks era. For example, all those simple queries like what is free spins, for sure Google overviews or AI will answer that correctly, and you have no need to go to an affiliate website, to media to check it. It is answered. So, and we still have those questions, those queries like recently, about 4 years ago, we called it low value keywords, like with small traffic but more complicated. For example, where to play, how to play, what is it exactly, like with long meaning, with more details, with your desire to look for more details about this issue.
You need to be specific, like where and how, so they can point you to the brands and to the operators' websites.
Exactly. And I don't believe that traffic disappears generally. Yeah, it disappears from main queries and it goes to low queries. It was low, but right now it's like the biggest thing. And when you how to be there. Of course, everybody is switching with their websites. Okay, we need to work with low keywords, with articles about it. But also, if you Google any query like that, among first results, you will see Reddit articles, Reddit posts. And you should go there. You should create your agents, your community on Reddit. You should create accounts there, comment about your brand, about answers for iGaming industry. And most probably it's going to be on the top. So this is the strategy nowadays. This is the shift.
Yeah, I would add to that. I think the search behavior pattern has changed over the years, right? So previously, as if I'm considering myself, if I have to go through a complete journey of researching something and then buying it or making a decision, I would do at least multiple searches, 10, 20 searches, and then arrive to a decision that I will make. Right now, people are putting all these long capabilities with precise details. They know what they want, especially the decision makers. They know what they want, the players, they know what they want. They are putting all these long queries into all these platforms, and that is what the user behavior, I would say, that has changed, and of course the data relates to it.
Yeah, I have some points over here also relating to what we were talking about. We have, in the total of the industry, if we take all the industries, the entertainment industry, AI overviews is only affecting 3% of the industry. That, if you see, is a small number compared to other industries, like could be health, for example. But if you take 2 months from now, I think was like 2 months ago, was 1.5% in the industry. It increased almost 100% more in the last 2 months. And how it's affecting the changes? Usually the changes coming first to US. Google tests in US, after they move to UK for Europe, and then goes to Canada, Australia, and the rest of the countries. How is usually when they implement some algorithm change, it's how it's around the world.
As usual, Europe goes first because of the mature market. It tests the new
Yes.
stuff.
They go to Europe, and usually the last one is South America
Okay,
to
yes.
get all the implementations.
Yes.
But yeah, that is something that we see, and when they come into and shows AI overview, that is affecting almost like 30 to 35% of the search. The clicks are going to that, to AI overviews. Or just reading the AI overview and not performing any extra research.
Okay, so what operators need to do, they need to be strategic about the places where they apply the search engine optimization, the use of Reddit, as Vasily said,
Yes.
and using the right kind of questions, doing answer engine optimization on the right kind of questions.
Yes, correct.
Okay, and carrying on.
And yes, one of the major issues that we have is when this coming AI overviews, what is happening is you have to move sometimes like 1,500 pixels. That means 2 times scrolling on desktop or 3 times even on mobile, just to get to organic
It's
results.
a matter of real estate as well.
Yes,
Okay.
that is one effect, of course.
And okay, so, and how can now brands measure? How can companies measure their visibility and brand performance now that we have this new format? Is it something that can be recorded in analytics, for example? I mean, now most queries go through the AI search engine.
I think so. It's kind of can be recorded in analytics, but the first and the main point is share of answers. It means the amount of answers about your brand across the internet, and I'm talking not only about link building, I'm talking about also Reddit, as I mentioned. I'm talking about medias mentioning your brand. Somebody calls it parasite SEO. For example, you can have top 10 safest casinos, top 10 most modern casinos, and this article is going to be not on IGB or whatever. This article can be on BBC, I can't imagine, but some big media, and that brings value also. Because what I noticed from my personal tests, when you buy such an article, and how Google formed those top 10 casinos, for example, right now, they form it on mentions, on authority, and on trust of the websites which mentions you. And if you are on those 3 points, you will be definitely be in this top 10. For sure, that is tested. So, and that means you need to put this strategy into your pocket. And about measuring, so that means you will see the increase of brand traffic and direct traffic to your website. So you will see it on Google Analytics, on Ahrefs, on those websites.
I would like to add to it and clarify about mentions and citations. So there are 2 things there. So one would be brand mentions and one would be citations that you get on these AI platforms and SGE. So in my opinion, citations would be much better to get because then you get a link as well there, and there is one neat trick that we always do. You optimizing your featured image within your web page, within whatever content you have. If you optimize your featured image and make it like an advertisement, a brand mention, whatever you put there, it is going to be mentioned within this AI answer, Google answers. It is this type of free visibility that you can get for your brand, and it should be used. What goes wrong when it comes to brand mentions, it can also be a negative review. Let's say for affiliates, there can be negative reviews, even for operators. Those brand mentions can actually reprimand your reputation, your brand value. However, when you get these citations, it's usually a very positive experience. But of course, you have to build onto it. You have to make sure that you are ranking for the right reasons and in front of the right people. So.
Yes, for sure. You should work on your search engine reputation management also, and that's what you've just been talking about. If you have bad reviews, just ask your clients to leave positive reviews, because you have many clients who have positive experience. And the intent when you are going to leave a review, usually if you have good experience, it's lower probability that you're going to leave a review. Just compared to your personal life, you're gonna leave a review if you don't like this restaurant, this hotel, or whatever. You're gonna leave like 1 star, bad review, and that's it. So you should motivate your audience to communicate with your brand, to leave reviews about you. How you will do it, it depends on you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to add to that also, related to this. The brand is the most important thing now with AI overviews. And talking about tools, we have, as you said, Href, you have SEMrush, that also have a specific section dedicated to the AI overviews. And also you have keywords.com. Also, they have a specific section, extra, that you have to pay for the AI overviews. And they show you something that is very interesting, that we were talking previously about sentiment, that is showing how they see your brand. Yes, they're checking how the people identify your brand, if it's positive or negative, and also for people that is not looking directly to your brand, that is looking to a competitor brand and if they compare to yours or not. Or if they come in the period that they just researching for brands, and if your brand is coming up, and what is the sentiment also related to that.
Okay, that is very helpful. And moving on to a more technical level, as we speak about the answer engine optimization and this kind of style of SEO, let's discuss schema markup and data structuring a little bit more technical behind just the words and the content. What are they? Let's break it down and quickly. And why are they crucial? How can iGaming brands implement them effectively?
Schema markup, that's something which not appeared just with AI, it was before. So my strong desire in my intent was to use it like about 5 years ago I started using it. And it's awesome, even without AI, it works very good for search engines. What is it? You put labels like in metadata on your content, pointing, okay, this is a brand name, this is payment solutions, this is like slots of this cuisine, and so on. So it helps AI to find the right answer in a fast way. So that's why it is appreciated with AI, and most probably you will get better results if you have a proper schema markup on your website.
And something that's new related to that is the LLM.txt, where you can put all the code and everything that is related, and it's very easy for all the LLMs to understand better your website. Because the schema markup was mainly made for the different browsers that help them understand the content of your website. That's why.
I think the algorithm is now preferring more and more schema markup and the structuralization. Over 800 schema markups are supported now. That's like a huge jump compared to previous years. And also, we have observed that I think about 2 to 3 times you get more chances of getting ranked on these engines and on these platforms if you have proper structure, if you have proper schema markup done. So that is an interesting.
And the real estate also that you get on the search, because sometimes they can add, when you have a schema markup, they can add something, for example, I don't know, starts or whatever that is related to your brand, and they can take more real estate on the search.
That is true. That real estate, just like a real world,
Yes,
one,
like
that is super important. The more the better.
Okay, so pretty much old strategies work. They're not really old. They help with the AI optimization as well. And we have more tools and ways to monitor even deeper metrics like brand reputation and visibility and all that. So I think that's a very useful bunch of insights about this. But now let's move to content, the king, queen, or whatever everyone calls it, and address the elephant in the room. I've been hearing so much about this. Let's start with the very basics. Is AI-generated content bad for your search engine optimization strategy? Are you going to be banned or, I don't know, shadow banned or disappearing from Google if you're using either text that is generated by AI or visuals? What's the story there?
I would say that the simple answer is no, it won't harm it. However, it's the favorite phrase of marketers, it depends. I would say use the ABC principle, always be critical. So absolutely yes, use AI to generate ideas, to generate outlines, to generate the content, giving the right prompts to it, and like really train ChatGPT or anything else that you use to create really valuable content, because what people are looking for is relevant content but also truthful content. It is extremely important to fact check every single thing, even from my own experience. And it's funny coming from me because I used to be like 2 years back, I was the biggest opposer of any AI generated content. I absolutely hated it. And then it's turned out that I can slash the time that I spend on creating content by half or even more, just using AI. But I do fact check every single thing that it gives me. And The thing about AI generated content and the tools that are doing that is they cannot say, I don't know. They will lie to your face, and then you challenge it, and it's like, oh yeah, you're right. You're right, I was wrong, and then it gives you.
And you're the best. You're the best. This is the best output. To look at these
It's like
questions.
a never-ending yes man that you have there, and break with everything.
Yes.
I actually want to add to what Magda said. We have actually, there have been 3 core updates this year, and after those, there have been 31% decline in the keyword and the traffic. Why? Because of thin content. Doesn't necessarily have to be AI generated or human generated. It's just because of regurgitated content that we see usually. At the end of the day, AI is, channeling all the content from what exists. It is not thinking. It is not generating something on its own. So if there is something that already exists, you have already lost your edge. There are like 100 more competitors you have to compete with. So how is your content different? That is where that human oversight, the EE80 principles, they play a very strong part in getting ranked. The statistics, the expertise, the real experience that you can put with your own background, that part of human behavior and the real knowledge that contributes to great content and adding to the experience of the user.
And something that I would like to add to this, that please don't trust on the tools that they check if it's AI made content. That doesn't work. We were talking about yesterday, and funny thing, for example, one client that they have their SEO team inside, they came to me and they said, no, but this content, it looks like AI. I said, how? They said, no, we use this tool, and they show us it's like 80% AI. I said, okay, let me make some changes to the content. I just put like words that they not usually normally in the language, and they changed that it was not AI, the content with that changes. I said, wait, I have to show you something else. I went to an old article from 2010 that AI didn't exist at that time, and I put it on the tool, and they showed me that was almost 90% AI. And after that, yes, they trust. They trust, but yeah, if they come to you and they said, no, this content is made by AI, and just show them something that is very old, and they will show that it's also AI made.
I have something to add here, like about 75% of creators of the last researches are using AI for their content, like on different stages. And it depends on what is the goal of using AI. For example, if you run brand pages like one-page website and running backlinks there just to be on the top of the list, you can use AI like with no problem, with no doubts, because there is other technologies behind it. If you're running media or social media, for sure you should update it with human intent. And one more thing, it's very important to keep the structure for AI. That's what I've been talking in the very beginning. Like the question, the short answer, it will go to snippets on Google and to snippets on Google overviews. And after that, there's going to be a text with details, and not just details from your competitors or text which already exists, what you mentioned, but details with your personal experience. For example, when you're creating a review about a casino, there are hundreds of reviews about the same casino. You should add personal experience, like to show the man behind it who really tested this casino, who provide the experience, not only added normally or usually, but more experience in it. So and that's gonna work.
Okay, so we can use AI, that's good news. And I think it's also, it indicates the use of AI, how you use it, the experience of the actual users and the companies as well. If you have experience in your field, you can engineer the right prompt, you can teach it to think.
Yeah, AI, as we spoke also yesterday, is a tool. You can use it, and it depends how you use it. And yes, for client work, maybe you can use it to get some ideas, but you need an editor over there that is going to do all the touches.
Now let's hit social media, and now we're seeing that more all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, even TikTok are being indexed by Google nowadays. How can iGaming brands leverage this for greater visibility? But also, on the other hand, what is the optimal way to use social media in itself for discoverability in terms of strategy?
So I would say that iGaming brands should start seeing any social platforms as search engines and kind of design any content that they push out so that it answers any intent, that like why people come to that page, why they look for stuff. And for iGaming brands especially, one good thing that I can say is that TikTok is not at all saturated by iGaming content. There is so much space.
I think that we haven't even touched TikTok. I mean,
We have not, and even Instagram is not so saturated, I would say. LinkedIn, obviously, YouTube, of course, but for TikTok, I think it would be more for B2C brands, I would say, but B2B can also keep trying to create content that will be, short. It will have all the captions and the subtitles, and you have to create those things so that it answers the questions that anyone may have right away. So please explore TikTok. It is a long game, 100%. Like any content that is organically created, it must be a long-term game. But you will succeed eventually if you are persistent enough. And when it comes to Instagram, even though us marketers might want to treat it very similarly to TikTok, it will never be the same. And also we should create the videos or any sort of, infographics, whatever, tailored to the Instagram audience. Because frankly, there are a lot of Gen Z people, but also plenty of millennials, and we have to adapt. And TikTok is, it has zero attention span. I can see it by myself. I will scroll past TikTok because it's boring. So I am becoming like alpha or Gen Z, like later Gen Z, which I hate. And you also mentioned Reddit, and Vasily, you mentioned Reddit. I have used Reddit in the past to do AMAs with top people and so on. And what I learned the hard way, of course, do not do in-your-face advertising. Never advertise. Make sure that you provide value first. It's not forgiving at all. Mm-hmm. It will block you right away.
Yes.
It will delete everything.
And they will go into your internal search, what you did in the past, and check what you did and
yes.
make a comment about it.
Absolutely. And I remember that Quora was also very similar to that. Although Quora is kind of fading away, you don't really see a lot of Quora results when you go to first page.
Honestly, Quora has some low quality answers in there. So, and I think I'm being lenient in this characterization. So,
at the end of the day, I think it is about the user experience, how you are enhancing it. The thing that brands get wrong all the time is not creating appropriate content according to the platform. They treat, let's say, most of the time, we usually work with B2B. So what they get wrong all the time is treating each social platform as the next one. If they have, created content for LinkedIn, they will just use it for Facebook, for Instagram. It is not for them. So that is what they get wrong. They need to go back to the basics. Create content for the audience there present in that platform, not for, you do not have to overcomplicate things. If you are going on X, create content according to X, what people actually go there for. So that is what brands get wrong all the time. Another thing that would be very important is distributing your content appropriately across relevant platforms. Reddit, Quora, like you mentioned, it is seeing its dying days in a way, but it is still getting ranked, it is still getting sourced a lot. I think it is third or fourth most sourced platform when it comes to AI answers. But yes, it is, if the trust is not being built, it is contributing negatively to the user experience, and that is where the brand value of Quora is also lying in my opinion. However, if we use Reddit well, use it just like a regular person would like to use it, not do the get rich quick scheme that put our advertisement and let's get the result. It does not work. It is not going to work. It is going to backfire very rapidly, and budgets they need to use it as it was intended for.
Let's not do the television style product placement.
And yeah, let's say that you have multiple Reddit accounts. All these accounts, they have to have a certain age and some authority, some karma, where you can go and never talk about different topics, like jumping from one thing that doesn't make sense to another one. Usually gets targeted by the users. You have to be focused and with some karma that is going to stick the comment. If not, it's very hard. And something that was working well was also the YouTube Shorts. Even having from the long form video that reel, and then with the tool that was explained yesterday, you can short the video in different short videos of 1 minute, and they give you even the percentage of possibility to success on each video.
One more thing to add here, that's TikTok. We have about 40% search queries on TikTok for Gen Z generation. Gen Z, we can hate it or not, but like 5 years or 10 years later, they're gonna be the audience of full casinos. Not all of Gen Z, but many of them. So we should adapt our strategies nowadays for it. And what works for social media right now, it's like old good sales strategies, like the right headline, the right description, the right keywords, the right topic, the long views, like the time which you spent on the view, repeated views and so on. That's still on the table, that works. And I think we're gonna use it, why not?
Okay, perfect. And we pretty much answered all of the questions around the content and the formats of the content. So I will be wrapping it up with the quick fire, and in one word or phrase, what will define discoverability for brands, iGaming specifically, and in general in 2026, whether it is on Google and search engines or social media?
I would say searchable socials. Like you said, Gen Z is really starting to look for answers within social media. There's 46%, and then millennials do 35% compared to using Google, and then it just decreases. So searchable socials.
In my opinion, in 2 words, like brand trust.
I would say user experience. When I say user experience, it doesn't necessarily have to be just the UX on your website. It is about all the touch points that a user has experienced with your brand throughout their journey. It is it is not a funnel anymore. It is more like a maze, in my opinion, and you have to make sure that all the right signals are present within the maze that are pointing to your brand in the right direction, so that the users can self-guide them and end up to your.
For me, in the last one, I will say it's going to be brand for sure, and also adaptability to the changes. Because that is something that is if we have this conversation in 6 months, will be totally different. It changes all the time, and we just need to adapt.
Thank you very, very much. And thank you for joining us for this panel. I hope all your questions are answered. And stay tuned, because what's next now, Peter? Do you have the break now?
Yes.
Okay, and see you after the break.